I want to commend everyone that marched into the Capitol for the second time in a month yesterday in Texas to try to ensure that a true bill to defend the Fourth Amendment, to defend the 10th Amendment, to defend our dignity of our women and children would be passed. And they gutted it 7 ways to Sunday. I'm going to be breaking that down. But resistance is victory. We've been talking to the reporters on the ground. It looks like now even the Senate and House version won't be able to be merged. So it'll probably die, but if it goes into special session, we've got to continue to analyze this bill and probably try to kill it. But we're going to break that down, if not today, tomorrow. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back down there today. So much is coming in fast and furious. If you just joined us, breaking: cancer surges in body scanner operations. TSA launches cover-up. And television in D.C. Is reporting on this. And the head of EPIC, the Electronic with Privacy Information Center, great folks, Mark Rottenberg, I think we've interviewed him. They've talked to the unions and others. And it's been going on for years there at Boston and other airports where the TSA has been testing since late 2002, the scanners, huge cancer clusters. And they use all the other private studies, and even university studies have said it's deadly. They've misrepresented Johns Hopkins, and the head of the study went public last year and said, my study said it'll cause cancer. You misrepresented in the news saying I was for this. It's the same thing with NIST. NIST has changed its story on Building 7 falling at free fall and how it fell 5 times now. Now they say they don't know why Building 7 fell on 9/11. So it's a very disreputable, corrupt government-funded agency. I mean, what do you expect? NIST has agreed with the UN that the sun doesn't affect climate, and they're backing carbon taxes with fake science. Of course, the sun drives climate. It's the main driver. Anyone who says otherwise is completely insane, according to all the top meteorologists we've interviewed. But your common sense, ladies and gentlemen, knows that it affects and drives the climate. We would be absolute zero in a matter of days if the sun disappeared. I mean, it's just asinine. And the sun's fluctuations, like the heat on a fire, when you're frying eggs, when the sun fluctuates up and down and the heat it's putting off. I can't believe I'm even having to explain this. You know that, okay? So they put out this report that they wouldn't give Congress last year. Finally, it's coming. They wouldn't give Congress this. The numbers are blacked out. And they're saying, yeah, there's some radiation leaking out of these. But we say it's healthy for you, but then they black out what the radiation level is. So it is on. The fact that they've covered up the cancer clusters, and this report is up at Infowars.com, this could break their back. The fact that it's not just travelers going through the porno scans that store an image of your body, or that they're frisking you with dirty gloves that they don't change but every 100 or so searches, that it violates the Fourth Amendment, trains kids to be molested. It's the equivalent of walking down a dark alley, in the worst area of New York or Chicago or Houston every time you go to the airport. You don't know what's going to happen to you. Untrained people on power trips told to do this stuff. They themselves, victims of their own tyranny, they're being roasted by the machines, as I've kept explaining. We've had the... we're going to get more on as well, the scientists. We've interviewed the radiologists. But, again, my dad's a dentist. They have a radiation officer who wears a badge. They're checking it monthly. Companies have to come in and calibrate it and check it and do readings. But the federal government just says, we're exempt from our own laws. They don't even have a regulation that does that. And they don't want to give Congress the numbers. So that article is up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Cancer surges and body scanner operators. TSA launches cover-up. And I'm not blaming even that local news. They did a good job. Most people don't study every facet, every angle of an issue. But last year and this year, in fact, I'm going to get Paul to write another article, or get Steve or Aaron or Kurt to do it. I know we wrote articles about it where Congress asked for it. They said, we've studied it. They just gave them a boil down. Then it turned out they hadn't tested the machines, aren't following federal and state law for radiology testing of the equipment, and that there was a cover-up. So then to have TSA tell the news, we tested, it's rigorous, it's there. They won't even give Congress this information because it turns out they're not doing it. Because criminals don't want a paper trail of what they've done. They could care less what happens. Hey, Rob, how you doing? What's going on? Come on in. What's going on? Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for that information. Yeah, this is a different memo than what he linked to. Yeah. Good. We're getting more documents in here. Thank you so much. Okay. Now continuing here, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't even gotten into the Financial Times of London, that is the globalist mouthpiece that openly calls for world government. Their foreign editors wrote an article called Now for World Government, saying, yes, it's stealth, yes, it's authoritarian, it's for your own good, you conspiracy scum, basically. They have a new one out, Dollar Seen Losing Global Reserve Status, and they talk about basically the end of the United States, because all we've got left is the dollar. It's being devalued, but when we lose it, ladies and gentlemen, all Hades is going to break loose. And you've got, on average, a nation of drugged out, Bisphenol A weirdos who don't want to tie their shoelaces. It's not that they can't tie their shoelaces. They've been chemically lobotomized. They've been victimized to the point they can't even operate. And again, here is the French news agency. Chemicals in plastic containers make male mice act like females. And there's all the other studies about the reduced fertility. This has been done also in humans. That's why areas of Europe have banned it. But it's a little too late, because now it's basically in everything. It goes on, but what they don't cover in this study is what the other studies show of the breast cancer in women. And I warned you about this over and over again, so we're going to pull up the next video here where I got demonized by all the big Media Matters type outfits, that I was being homophobic. Let's get all that aside, okay? You understand, if I talk about mice becoming feminine, and in the studies that are out there, the same with the fish, dogs, they've done it, they begin to want to be mounted by males because it affects the area of the brain. I mean, if this stuff's so strong in fish that it's making them have both sexual organs, or lizards or snakes or amphibians like frogs and toads, and I read those articles earlier, what do you think it's doing to humans? The point is, this is going on and you should know about it. So instead, the George Soros outfits, they come out and attack us saying we're bashing gay people. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, if I'm talking about mice being turned into basically males, am I now homophobic against gay mice? It's chemicals being done to us. Be adults. We'll come back from break and play, the clip that they edited together and took out of context, where I was talking about juice boxes and how it has bisphenol A in it. But let's just say it's a gift from the globalist to make men become sterile, or reduce fertility, and to develop the area of their brain. You're feeding the brain female hormones. They begin to become attracted to males because the olfactory nerve smells, and that's what's happened with the mice in the studies. The females don't want these mice, but other males that haven't been given it, they then want the male mice that have been given it. So your olfactory nerve picks up the pheromone. That's why your underarms stink. That's your musk for the brain to pick up. It's how mammals operate. I'll explain it when we come back. But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the hardcore news. Now, remember, almost all, just type it in, most receipts in the U.S., most printer cartridges are pure bisphenol A. The toner medium, the color is something else, but the liquid is liquid plastic bisphenol A. Just touching a few receipts lowers fertility. I'm so weak-minded that I still use a cell phone. The point is, they just put it into our environment knowing we're designed to live in our environment. I still use a cell phone, admitted massive brain tumors. Again, even as much as I know, they have made this our environment, where I always catch myself, somebody gives me a tin can of water or whatever, flavored water, and I go, oh my gosh, and I cut the can open, it's plastic lined bisphenol A. I look on the bottom, bisphenol A. So I'm like super, male, high testosterone, but it's a lot lower than it would be. So I'm weak. Now, a male that wouldn't be dominant is extremely feminine. That's why the male genitals across the Western world, anywhere bisphenol A is using, generation after generation are getting smaller. You don't even have testosterone. It's why cops now, even police chiefs, are saying openly take testosterone because they're not males anymore. They have to take steroids. I may reverse myself on steroids, something I've always been against from research, but if we don't have them, it's almost like Cushing syndrome. We need the steroids now. I mean, this is hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, the media is going to spin this and go, Alex says juice boxes make you gay, like they did last year when I was reading mainline studies then. But never telling you I'm reading a study. They cut that out. They'll cut this out as well. The Soros people will. Now, but it won't matter because then people in the comments of the articles go, well, wait, he's talking about bisphenol A. Why is this all cut up? Again, they know and don't want you to know because they're population exterminist. Now, let's play one of the edited clips of many online, but it's still clear what I'm saying about bisphenol A with Bob Chapman a year and a half ago. Here it is. But the reason there's so many gay people now is because it's a chemical warfare operation. I have the government documents where they said they're going to encourage homosexuality with chemicals so that people don't have children. I even catch myself, Bob, drinking out of these estrogen mimickers. In fact, they'll probably say it if it's lined with it inside the plastic packaging. I wonder if this spring water, natural lime flavor I'm drinking. I know full well HEB's putting fluoride in this. Why am I drinking this? I know full well these kettle chips say that they don't have MSG, but they've got the yeast extract thing that says it's MSG. What's wrong with us? Why won't we stop? Why am I so weak? And they know that they have immersed us in this, Bob. For those watching on PrisonPlanet.tv, here's the inside of this juice box. And if they zoom in any more, see that thin plastic? It's got it. And I'm letting my children drink this. Why? Because after you're done drinking your little juices, well, you're ready to go out and have a baby. You're ready to put makeup on. You're ready to wear a short skirt. You're ready to go, put together, a garden of roses or something. I'll stop right there. You're ready to put lipstick on. Look. That now again, before, all over the world, puberty was 13 to 14 in girls. Now in the West, it's 10 on average. As young as 3. Don't believe me? Just type it in. Mainstream news. 3-year-olds going into puberty. Hundreds of thousands in the U.S., 5-year-olds. So again, the media spins this like he's attacking our wonderful gayness. Everyone's turning gay. It's wonderful. I'm not making a judgment about that. That's how mind-controlled you are. It's under chemical attack. They're changing who we are so we don't have children. I'm not getting caught up in your distraction. I mean, if they put a microchip in our head to make us automaton drones, would they say don't discriminate against drones? It was artificially done. That's why there's the explosion. But let's get all the gay stuff out of it. Why are little girls going into puberty? Well, next it'll be, you're against discriminating against the 5-year-old girls that want to dress like hookers and are running around, going into puberty early. People wonder why they see like 10-year-olds with breast and all this crazy sexual promiscuity because the boys have been feminized, the girls have been hyper-feminized, and all of their organs, because that's what causes cancer is the hormone flux. That's why, again, sharks don't get cancer. They don't have hormones. They have a different system. That's why women get breast cancer. It's one of the biggest reasons. And they know this. They're murdering you. But again, you don't want to hear that. You want to go have a jog for breast cancer and give it to the Cancer Society that then helps cover all this up. They know. And, of course, here's the other articles. Diabetes doubling the last 10 years. MSNBC. Scientific American. They're murdering us. 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 They're murdering us.